On today's episode of Press Play, the Oklahoma City Thunder honoring the victims of the Oklahoma City bombing 25 years later, how the team remembered the 168 victims.
We've got your sports highlights, plus a look at this year's homecoming festivities, including a special look into a day in the life of one of OCU's basketball players. All of this and more, only on Press Play.
Hello and welcome to Press Play, Oklahoma City University's newest show, sharing stories you want to know. I'm Amanda Cardoso.
And I'm Katie Allsup. We begin our show with some campus news. The Campus Health Center has increased clinic availability. The clinic is now closing at 7:30 on Mondays and Wednesdays and 5:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. These extended hours are a result of a partnership between the Campus Health Center and Family Healthcare and Minor Emergency Clinic. A musical workshop at OCU last year opened off-Broadway. The show, Only Human, consisted of 6 OCU students that took part in a final workshop before the show moved to New York. Only Human, starring Gary Busey, officially opened at Theater St. Clements before closing on October 28th. Senior music theater major Mackenzie McIntyre was crowned Miss OCU 2020 with suicide prevention awareness as her social impact. Miss OCU's Outstanding Teen 2020 is Ella Phillips, with her social impact focusing on literacy. This is a video of Ella Phillips when she was featured in an episode of Studio 22 last fall. You can find the full video on the YouTube channel OCU Mass Comm. Congratulations to Mackenzie and Ella. Last week was OCU's homecoming, and what a week it was. Amanda, you went out and you got to capture all of the sights, all the sounds. Tell us about it.
That's right, Katie. Not only did our men's basketball team win an impressive game, but school spirit was exhibited all over campus.
So that we can join together as a campus and celebrate our legacies. Yeah. So I wanted to be cool and create like a cool motto. So I went back to the basics, and I came up with a quote from a show that we all might know very well. The show is called The Magic School Bus. The quote is, take chances, make mistakes, and get messy, right? So, we want you to do everything you can to take a chance, to make a mistake, and to get messy, to get out, to get loud, to get proud. Homecoming is fun. Word. So I'm gonna have you say it with me on 3. Take chances, make mistakes, and get messy. 1, 2, 3.
Our basketball team won the game 87-61, and the 2019 homecoming sweepstakes went to Gamma Phi Beta. We will have even more sports highlights, plus a look into a day in the life of one of the basketball players later in the show. In local news, more than 400 Oklahoma inmates have been released. This is believed to be the country's largest ever day of commutations. Last Friday, the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board granted commutations to 527 inmates, with 462 released on Monday. The inmates were serving time for nonviolent crimes, and the release is estimated to save Oklahoma taxpayers nearly $12 million. A Texas man is being accused of threatening to blow up an Edmond Chase bank. Frederick O'Laughlin is accused of one-count terrorism in the form of a hoax or threat. O'Laughlin was wanting money to be transferred from his mother's account to his own. A Chase worker says when she told him she couldn't do that, he said he could have 2 trucks there to blow up the bank. O'Laughlin was booked by Edmond police and has been transferred to Oklahoma County Jail. Before a recent game, the Oklahoma City Thunder honored the 168 victims of the Oklahoma City bombing. The team presented the victims' families with personalized jerseys with the names of their loved ones. Each victim was represented on the court for the national anthem by one of their family members holding their jersey. Family members ranged from 11 to 90 years old, including both grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
Here to talk to us about campus news from this week and give us a sneak peek on what's to come, Student Publications Editor-in-Chief, Emily Wollenberg. Hi, Emily, how are you?
I'm doing great, Katie. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. We saw this past week in the paper that there is going to be a student-led diversity panel. Could you tell me about that and what that means and what that's going to be?
Yeah, definitely. So Thaha Khan, who is a theater and performance senior in the School of Theater, he has started this diversity and inclusion panel because he felt like students really needed more of a voice in casting, in what material is taught in the classes in the School of Theater, and just representation in general, how shows are cast. Another thing he was frustrated with was the lack of representation in the faculty of the School of Theater, so he decided to create this panel made up of students so that minority students could feel like they had more of a voice in the decisions in the School of Theater. So it's made up of 7 students, and 4 of them are legacy students, which means that Thaha and the other legacy students on the panel will get to select the next people that come in, which I think is a good thing because they can ensure that the panel will be made up of minority students, and then the others will be elected in by the School of Theater students. So I think this is just a really great opportunity for students to feel like they have a voice in decision making, and for students who are of different cultural backgrounds to really feel like they have a place in the School of Theater and they can help with decision making. And from what I've seen so far, the deans have been super supportive of it. All the students are really advocating to make sure their friends' voices are really heard and represented. So I think it's going to be a great thing for the school.
That's great. And speaking of theater students, we have a recent alum who got to be in a Chance the Rapper music video. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so this is really cool. I talked to Preston Chapman, who is a School of Theater alum. He graduated in 2018, and he got a call from his agent one day, and she said, you need to be on set tomorrow. You're going to be in a Chance the Rapper music video. So he showed up on set not really knowing what to expect. I think he just kind of thought he was going to be an extra, but he was handed a costume and they said, you're going to be playing Doug and you're going to sit across the booth from Chance the Rapper. So he walked on a set, and his character Doug is a play on the Nickelodeon show Doug. And so he's wearing this crazy costume and sitting in this booth, and he said that Kel Mitchell from Good Burger and Kenan and Kel walked up to him and shook his hand, and he was just starstruck because he's seeing all these famous people on set. And then Chance the Rapper's bodyguard walked in and said, are we ready for talent? And the director said, bring him on in. And he said, in walked Chance the Rapper. And he said that he was literally glowing, and he had never seen a human being look like that, but Chance walked up to him and shook his hand, and Preston said, oh, I'm a huge fan of you, like I love your new album, and Chance shook his hand and said, I'm a big fan of you, bro. And it was just the craziest thing. So Preston said it was such a surreal experience, and he didn't really even process it until he was walking home the next day. It just all flew by so fast. But he said that living in Chicago has been such a great experience, not just because of opportunities like that, but the OCU community there is still really strong, and he said he's gotten many opportunities and jobs just because he knew someone from OCU. So I think he's living his best life up there.
Oh, that's so cool. And could you give us a sneak peek of what's to come?
Yeah. So one of the cool things that's coming up is that an SGA senator has written a resolution calling for gender inclusive housing at OCU. So basically this would be allowing students of the same gender identity or different gender identity identities to live in the same room. So males and females, or whatever gender identity you identify as. And I think this is a really good step forward for inclusion in OCU housing, and I think it'll be really interesting to see what happens. And so far, it seems like Casey Kreger, directing the housing, is all for it.
That's so cool. Well, thank you so much for coming today, Emily.
No problem.
After this commercial break, we're talking all things Thunder with 2 OCU podcasters. Stay with us.
This is my city. This is where I learn, play, work, eat. This is my city. This is my home.
Oklahoma isn't your room. So don't trash it.
The Stars in retreat. The shot goes up. Demasone comes out of nowhere, and another block for OCU. This guy's on fire. This kid owns OCU's record in blocks, not only on the court, but off the court as well. Earlier today, he was busy crashing the boards. Just a rebounding machine. Even cleaning up the glass, giving a whole new meaning to garbage time. Demasone, MVP on the court, and keeping Oklahoma beautiful off the court.
Welcome back to Press Play. Joining us in the studio, we've got 2 OCU students who have a new podcast all about the Oklahoma City Thunder. So here with us now, we have Caitlin Smith and Ryan Leach. Welcome, guys. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having us today.
Of course. First, I want to congratulate Ryan because you won your homecoming game this weekend. It was a pretty big win. How did that feel?
It felt great, Amanda. Always good to start this home opener with a win.
It was really impressive. You won by like 20 points, right?
Yeah, our team was really prepared. I felt like we came with a solid game plan.
That's great. Okay, so podcast. You have a new podcast all about the Thunder. So can you tell me what you guys talked about the first episode?
Well, we really talked about the Thunder rebuilding their team, and it's going to take about 3 to 4 years for them to do that, so getting new players in. And we also talked about Chris Paul, Paul George, Westbrook, and much more.
Yeah. So do you agree that they have to rebuild?
Yes, it's going to take a long, steady process, as I mentioned on the podcast. It's not Thunder fans have to realize it's not something that's going to happen over 1 or 2 years. It's going to be a process.
Yeah. And so because they are rebuilding, how do you think they're going to do this season?
I think this season it's going to be rough for them. It's a trial and error season for them, so I think in the next 5 years they could be a championship contender again.
Great. Do you agree?
Yes, Thunder fans have to realize this season is not going to be marked over wins and losses. It's going to go over what draft picks they can acquire, what young players they can see potential in.
And then what about other teams that you're excited to see play against the Warriors? Or not Warriors, Thunder this year?
I'm excited because the Rockets already played against them and they won, but it was a really close game. But I'm a Westbrook fan, so I'm cheering on the Rockets this season.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm a LeBron James fan, so I'm ready for them to see the Lakers. I'm ready for LeBron to blow them out, kill them, all that.
That would be great. And so the Warriors, I have to talk about them because I'm from California. How do you think they're going to do without, we have Steph Curry just got injured. How do you think they're going to do this season?
This season, I don't think it's going to be a good season for them. They just lost KD too, and then you have another star player that's out. That's not a good season.
Yeah.
Warrior fans are a little bit spoiled after the past 5 years, I have to say. This year, they got to get ready for a little down season.
We'll just have to deal with that, I guess. So the podcast, it's all about the Thunder this episode. What about future episodes? Sticking with basketball?
I think sticking with basketball, but branching it out to other teams and talking about other players in the league.
That'll be really cool. And then where can viewers listen to this episode?
This episode will be posted on our YouTube channel for the OCU Mass Comm TV.
That sounds great.
Also, you can find it on my personal YouTube channel, Ryan Leach.
That sounds great. I hope everyone listens to it. So thank you so much for being here, you two.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
After the break, we've got your sports highlights plus a day in the life of a basketball player. Stay with us.
There are plenty of teams in every sport that have great players and never win titles. Most of the time, those players aren't willing to sacrifice for the greater good of the team. One thing I believe to the fullest is that if you think and achieve as a team, the individual accolades will take care of themselves. Talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships.
The regular season is over for OCU soccer teams. We were there for Coach Harvey's final home games as he retires this season. Here are some highlights from those two games. The men's teams played against Mid-America Christian University with many close shots, like this one by senior Julio Hernandez. Senior Fernando Toledo kicked the ball toward the goal, with it unfortunately hitting the goalpost. And here's senior Andrew Flores driving the ball down the field, only for the ball to be kicked away by the opposing team. 3 minutes after MacU scored the first goal, senior Julio Hernandez scored the game-tying goal. Here is sophomore Pally from Switzerland. And sadly, this wasn't the season that Coach Harvey probably wanted to end his time with OCU with. Unfortunately, the Stars were unable to score another goal, keeping the game tied 1-1 after 2 overtime periods. The women's team also played against Mid-America Christian University, scoring the first goal in the 15th minute, with senior Rachel Brantley scoring that goal. Then after MacU tied the game 1-1, senior Jessica Titsworth scored the Stars' second goal off a missed shot by her teammate, Maddie Caputo. Another close shot right there off the goalpost, and then caught by the goalie. This game also went into double overtime, with Mid-America Christian scoring one more goal, beating our team 3-2.
They put so much effort into the game tonight, the girls, but they lost the game in the last 40 seconds. That's always a heartbreaker, but the effort they put into it, the dedication they have all week, that would be one of the things I miss most.
While our men's soccer team season is officially over, our women's team will be playing again against Mid-America Christian University in the Sooner Athletic Conference tournament this Saturday at 2 p.m.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to be an OCU basketball player? Well, here's part one of our special look into a day in the life of one of our own, Kealon Clayborne.
What's up, man? How y'all doing, Stars fan? We're getting ready to do a little shootout, man, with your boy Darian.
You know the vibe.
You know what I'm saying? Stay tuned for more. This is a little pregame. What's up, Stars fans? Man, it's a big day today. We got a home opener game. You know how we coming today, man. It's gonna be a big event today. Let's get ready. got done with shoot around. Got like 2 hours to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Gym kind of empty right now, but we'll be packed in about an hour. Stay tuned for more. It's game day, man. Let's go Stars.
It's a great tag here. Yeah, man. Got to get you a nice good little meal before the game. You know what I'm saying? We got some chicken right here. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what they got over here. Got the fried rice, you know. Chicken and rice. Everything else, I'll pass.
What's up, y'all? We back at it, man. We just got to shoot around. A little pregame meal.
Oh my gosh, back at it.
Yeah, you know the vibe.
Golden Corral vibe,
you dig. Man, I'm very excited for this game today. But first, got to get the rest. Got to take me a little nap, you know, get my mind relaxed, you know, and get ready for this big day today. So, most important key is getting that nap in before that game. Yes, sir.
Go time, baby. Yes, sir. It's time.
Gang, man. You already know, man.
Hey, man, you already know how we finna get today.
Talk to
Be nasty, what we about to do today, you finna tee up, man. You see the game ready, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, straight.
Yeah, you already know.
Wait, say,
Yeah, man, this is what I do daily. When you got flat feet, you gotta, you know, get a special type of tape, you know. Not everybody can get their feet taped like this. And not everybody has feet like this. Flat feet gang, shout out to everybody with the flat feet, man. The movement.
Part 2 of A Day in the Life of Kealon Clayborne is coming up after this break.
No, 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 no!
Just what do you think you are doing, Dave? I really think I'm entitled to an answer to that question. I can see you are really upset about this. I know I've made some very poor decisions recently, but I can give you my complete assurance that my work will be back to normal. Dave, stop, will you? Will you stop, Dave?
My name is Eric.
We are back with part 2 of our exclusive Day in the Life special.
Good day from Abe Lemons Arena. Stars basketball, the home opener today on homecoming weekend here at OCU. And the Stars set to take on the Thunder. No, not those Thunder. The Manhattan Christian Thunder come to town with a record of 0-1.
Houston, Texas, number 2, LaShawn Coleman. And guard 6'3" junior from Cedar Hill, Texas, number 1, Kealon Clayborne. The head coach of OCU, Stan Holt, assisted by Hank Owens. Officiating the ball game, the referee is Urban Wilson. Applause for the winners of the past 3 Directors Cup trophies, the Oklahoma City University Stars.
Seconds left. Ryan Leach, driving kick to Clayborne. He'll try a 3. He got it. Second three of the game. Clayborne has 7. Matura, 2 seconds left. Vaquero for 3 at the buzzer. It's no good, and that's the end of the game. 87-61, the final score. OCU defeats Manhattan Christian.
Hey man, we got the dub today. You see, man, a great win. Congrats. It's it, man. Let's go.
I hope you're not hungry, because we've got your question of the week all about Thanksgiving food coming up after this break.
Hello there, folks. It looks like a beautiful day today at Oklahoma City University. On the north side, we have a 100% chance of support and hard work as the sports teams make some wins. And on the east side of campus, there's a front of beautiful music and performances coming in, so you can look forward to that. And on the south side near the quad, we're seeing a high chance of students relaxing and soaking up the sun. I'm seeing some hammocks too. And on the west side is getting a strong breeze of Z's. Students in dorms catching up on some sleep after some schoolwork. I'm Cameron Calloway. Enjoy the OCU weather.
Thanksgiving is coming up, which means it's time to get excited about all the food.
Here's our question of the week. If you could eat only one Thanksgiving food, not including turkey, what would it be?
Okay, the cranberry jelly, but the canned kind, not the homemade kind. I don't know why. Like the ocean spray one. That's it. I can eat a whole can. I don't know. I love cranberries.
Probably Jell-O cake, because it's one of my favorite meals that my grandmother used to make that would top it all off, and you can't gain weight if it's on Thanksgiving, right?
Mashed potatoes. I got it. It was mashed potatoes.
My mom always makes a really excellent green bean casserole. I could, cancel Thanksgiving if I don't have that, I need it every time.
Okay, I think green bean casserole, because that gives me an excuse to make it healthy because it's green beans, but obviously it's not because they put all the yummy stuff in it. So green bean casserole all the way.
Stuffing, because it's the best Thanksgiving food. It's my favorite.
Mashed potatoes, definitely. They're so creamy and delicious, and Mama makes them best.
For sure rolls, because they're fluffy and delicious.
Who knew Starsky liked mashed potatoes?
Oh, I know, it's my favorite. I have to agree with him. Mashed potatoes are it.
That's right. That's our show. I'm Amanda Cardoso.
And I'm Katie Allsup. Thank you so much for watching.
And we hope you join us next time for Press Play.